There are a lot of manual touches involved in quoting, but it doesn't have to be that way. Hi, I'm Steve Enstad, CEO of PageDNA, and we're here to talk about how we can help remove painful manual touches, both for you in the print shop and for your customers using PageDNA's quotes and hold for quote technology. We've got some exciting developments here, so even if you're familiar with our platform, stay tuned because you're going to see some new stuff here today. We've been working on these problems for 25 years, namely how to help commercial printers, internal print shops, and brands manage the print and fulfillment process. And there are a lot of steps involved that can be removed with the benefit of web to print technology like PageDNA's. So our goals here today are going to focus on a particular area of our product that we call quotes. This is related to ad hoc jobs that require a quote based on different materials and options. These can be very complex items, and we have a solution that really makes it easy for everybody. So we want to make sure first you understand why this is important for you to focus on as a goal for your department or organization, because it really matters a lot to your customers and you. Then we're going to look at this quotes technology in action and show you how that works both as somebody ordering print and asking for a quote, as well as for you in your role, showing you some new stuff. Then I'm going to jump into some common myths and fears that we see holding printers back from actually embracing this technology. And we're going to show you a new solution that should really help lower your concerns about that, our new hold for quote technology. But I'm getting a little ahead of where we are right now. I want to step back and ask you this question. How do your customers feel it is to order from you today? How many steps are involved for them? Now, workflow, we talk about it all the time in print, but workflow doesn't start inside your print shop walls. It starts outside your print shop walls with customers. And without those customers, your department or your organization would not exist. So please expand your mindset to include the workflow your customers are going through to request a quote and upload artwork for a standard ad hoc document, as we call it. I can tell you the process is often like this, and this is for the majority of printers today here in the year 2022. There's a manual process that involves a lot of back and forth between a customer and an estimator or somebody in the print shop going back and forth, asking for artwork files and specifications and figuring everything out. And meanwhile, as you can see here, the thermometer, the frustration level is really going higher and higher, not just for you in the print shop, but for your customers. They have 10 things to do today and probably have time to do about 7. And each one of these interactions back and forth is really expensive to them. And many customers have a choice of where to go with their ordering. And they generally are gravitating to manufacturers that make it easier for them, that remove pain for them, that put hours back in their day, in their week and month so they can do more, which is really the name of the game. So this pain is rampant in our industry. And I ask you to maybe be a secret shopper and walk through ordering as one of your customers to experience what they're going through. In fact, I'd like to do that right now. Not only am I a CEO of a web to print platform, but I also buy print myself. And so I'd like to take you through the story of an order I placed last month here in the Dallas, Texas area. I was recommended to use this manufacturer. They're fairly large, I'd say somewhere between 10 and 20 million in top line revenue and have a great reputation. So here's what happened. I went to their website and they indicated to email them if we have a quote request. So I did so, and some time passed and I heard back cheerfully within about an hour, hey, what do you need? Great. I responded, I needed just a couple sets of business cards, but not a long run because we were having a trade show, we're moving offices. And then I needed some flyers. So I told them, what I needed, and then some more time passed and they wrote back and told me that their minimum quantity for business cards was 250 cards a box. That's fine. I said, okay, that's fine. We'll probably end up throwing some away or recycling them. But then more time passed. And we got into the discussion of papers, which is a huge issue in the supply chain world today. Obviously, it's hard to find paper, and it's typical that a commercial printer or internal print shop will have to share, hey, here's what we have available. Will this work for you? And that's what we did in this case. Now, I told them what I wanted and asked what's next. And at this point, we were on to the next business day. Each time you see time passes, I, as a buyer, had to stop what I was doing, forget that, remember where I'm at, go and answer this question from the print provider, and then go back to my work and try to remember where I was. Switching contexts in this way is very expensive, not only for humans, but it's been proven for computers as well. And every time we ask our customer to stop what they're doing, interrupt them, we're really disrupting the rest of their day and the rest of their work. So on to day 2, they asked me to send files. I sent them the files. They wrote back and told me that my files weren't prepared correctly, which frankly kind of insulted me because I've been doing pre-press for half my life, but for $10, they'd fix it fine. So then more time passed and I got proofs. If this story is getting long-winded, stay tuned because there's a much better way. But the point of this story is that many customers and print shops are going through needless, manual, repetitive, painful touches that are not necessary because there's a better solution out there, PageDNA's quoting technology. Now, in this particular story, what really blew my mind is that when I went in to pick up my job, rather than handing them a credit card and having them run it, they had me write my credit card number down on a piece of paper and hand it to the receptionist. So somewhere, for all I know, in Dallas, there's a piece of paper with my Amex, my billing, my CVV code, everything. This is the year 2022. There's $5 trillion sold online every year, and that number is going up very, very quickly. So all of your customers are using digital screens. They have these things glued to their head, sleeping next to them in bed. They use it for Uber Eats, DoorDash, Amazon. Why aren't they using it for print yet? Well, the answer is typically that our customers and prospects haven't yet found the winning solution until they meet PageDNA. Now, underscoring this, there's some huge challenges in the manufacturing world right now. There are a lot of openings across the board in every industry for workers. It is hard to find workers today. And specifically, our industry, manufacturing, is hit the hardest. We have the most openings. So this underscores again why it's so important to find a solution that can allow you to do more with your current team and equipment. And that's exactly what we're going to talk about here today with PageDNA. We're going to jump online and show you a much better way. So let's jump over into the real world here of our software. Now, PageDNA has a lot of features, and each of them have different benefits to your business. And to make it easy for you, we've created a page on our homepage called Features and Benefits that gets into our services and a lot of our capabilities. I'd say about 80% of what our software can do is outlined in these pages here. And what we're talking about here today is the quotes technology that allows your customers to see pricing and also, as you're going to see, does pre-flooding of the jobs. So if you want to learn more about this and our other features, please go to pagedna.com and click on Features and Benefits. You'll find it at the top of the page, or if you're on a smaller screen, you'll click the hamburger and be able to go into our features and benefits. Now, of course, most people are very familiar with web to print when it comes to painful items like business cards. We have been doing business card ordering since 1996 at PageDNA, and we do this stuff all day long for some of the biggest and most demanding brands in the world. This is a great fit for web to print because the software handles the template, shows a proof, creates press-ready files. It's really easy. But a lot of people don't think about ad hoc documents that aren't so simple, that have often custom quotes involved. So we're going to go over now and talk about PageDNA's quotes technology. Typically what we do in a PageDNA catalog is we first ask users generally what they're ordering. This is going to allow us to narrow down the options we ask them so that they're not confronted with a bewildering array of different papers and stocks. So I'm going to start out with large format, somebody who's ordering a banner or a sign. And in this case, our system is asking the user to put in a width or a length. These are options. Sometimes people do it this way. Sometimes people will have standard sizes the customer can choose from. I'm going to choose that this is a 2 foot by 1 foot document, and I'd like it to be printed on a vinyl white substrate. Now, as I'm making these changes, please draw your attention down to the quote, because you're going to see, as I add these options, you're going to see prices changing and different options can appear. What our software is doing is dynamically quoting this job. Now, every customer that we meet has their own database and their own pricing formulas, but we're largely able to get down within a penny or so by using our various tools. In this case, behind the scenes, not shown to the customer, we're keeping track of the square footage needed for this job and how much it costs, and adding other costs in the background so the customer can see what the job would cost. Now, we're doing more than what you see here. We're not just giving the customer the ability to come in and choose options and substrates and see the impact on the price, something that would be very difficult to do on the phone, but we're also preventing them from ordering a job that's impossible for you to produce. For example, Let's say that the longest length you support for wide format is 200 inches, but the user types in 206 inches. In today's demo, we have set up PageDNA to stop the user from ordering an item that is out of bounds, that is not conformant with reality. So it's actually not allowing me to continue here until I get back within the bounds of reality, which I'll go up into right now. I'm going to go back to a 2 foot by 1 foot sign. Now, our software has calculated the price and the user moves on to pre-flighting. And I just want to mention here that our software can be either strict or lenient in terms of checking the quality of files and making sure users don't upload garbage files. In this case, if I go, for example, and I choose to upload a low resolution image, or perhaps an image that is not in a good file type, our software can stop the user in their tracks again. Now I'm going to go ahead and find an image that does have enough resolution. I'm just going to grab an image of a photo of a house I've got. And our software is checking that photo for resolution, file type, and it's also going to allow me to crop that image to fit inside this 12 by 24 inch document that I'm creating here. So in this case, I could scale the document, I can enlarge it, I can do a bunch of stuff, but largely I want you to understand what you just saw is as a customer, I logged into a private storefront, I chose an item, I configured my options, seeing the impact of different options and keeping from choosing options that are incompatible. And then PageDNA checked the quality of my artwork. So from a customer perspective, we just removed a lot of that back and forth and made it very easy for them to go ahead with their order. In this case, I need to name the job. I'm going to call this my house photo, if I can spell here today. And I'm going to indicate when I need this job. And now with that, I can add this to my shopping basket. But we're going to go further now. We're going to talk about some new technology that PageDNA has extended to allow some of the concerns people have about quoting technology from holding them back. So in today's example, I'm going to order another document. We're going to order some color copies. And in this case, you're going to see different options because color copies are different than wide format. Here, we're asking the user to put in how many copies they have, how many pages or originals they have, whether they'd like this printed one-sided or two-sided. And again, watch down below as I make changes here because you're going to see the price is changing. Now, not shown to your customers, but behind the scenes, PageDNA is doing sophisticated print quoting. And I'd like to show you what I mean. Allow me to be Toto pulling back the Wizard of Oz's curtain here a little bit. Behind the scenes, our software is keeping track of the cost of paper per 1,000 sheets. It knows how you're going to produce this job. So it knows how many sheets of paper is required. And we are tracking the cost of that component and critically the weight. The weight is important because later a user is going to be checking out and they may need a FedEx or a UPS quote, and heavier papers or finishing options can add weight to the job. So PageDNA is not only providing a quote based on materials, cutting, clicks, labor, but we're also calculating the weight of the job for later shipping estimation. Now, right now I'm ordering a 9 original or 9-page document that's two-sided, but let's say that the user changes. They're just going to upload 1 page. This doesn't make sense when you think about it. What is a 1-page, two-sided color document? Well, if I change my mouse focus here, you're going to see again, PageDNA's quote software is stopping the user and asking them, hey, you have to make this order make sense. So it's forcing me to go back to a one-sided color option here. Similarly, I can choose, in this case, my papers, my stocks, my hole punches, and so forth, and see the impact on my job. Now, many commercial printers in particular that we meet, and internal print shops at times, are afraid about putting their pricing out on the internet, and rightly so. So allow me to take a moment to talk about some of the concerns people have with getting into this world of quoting, and then I'm going to show you our new technology called Hold for Quote. One of the first things we hear is we're not an internet printer. We're not Vistaprint. We don't want our prices out there. We don't want to get beat up. We don't want to lose margin. Very good point. So please keep in mind that most of PageDNA's customers do not put their pricing out there on the internet. They actually have a private login required to log into the system. And some of our customers have configured their items so they have different pricing levels based on volume or difficulty of working with or ease of working with a customer. So you might have friends and family or nonprofit price markups, regular customers, and then pain in the tail customers if you choose to do it that way. So first, do not fear, because you can gate access and then allow customers to come in and see their pricing. But there's another concern people bring up that we have addressed with a new feature in our product that's now integrated into our order manager. Some of our clients that we work with tell us, look, we like your quoting technology. It makes sense for the short run work, but we want to sharpen a pencil, so to speak, if it's a long run. Some of our printers send those jobs out to a third party. Sometimes they want to customize the quote because they want to make sure they don't overprice the job and lose the opportunity. So fear not, because PageDNA's Hold for Quote provides you the ability to bring the best of both worlds, both live job quoting and somewhat offline job quoting for jobs that you want to take a look at. Let me show you an example. As you've seen here, we're going ahead and we're ordering 25 sets of copies. There's 9 originals, and we've got a decent price here, 25 bucks. That's not an order you want to talk to a customer about, certainly. Let's go up to 250 sets of 9 originals. Now we're up to $250. Maybe you're still comfortable showing that price online. But now let's go up to a very large job of 2,500 copies times 9 pages. This is a big job. Notice that quote needed appears here. This is PageDNA's Hold for Quote technology kicking into gear. What our software allows you to do is above a certain price or number of sheets, or perhaps on all jobs of a certain type, we can actually not show the price to the customer, but still give them all these benefits of being able to come in here, choose different paper stocks, see the impact of different options. And as they move to the next step, we will still pre-flight their file. Let me show that to you. So here I'm supposed to upload an 8.5 by 11 9-pager. Let me pretend that I'm a little distracted and maybe not really paying attention to what I'm doing, and I'm going to go and upload a 8-page document. In this case, PageDNA is set up to stop this bad order and tell the customer, hey, please try again, upload a 9-pager. I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to put in my 9-page document, and you're going to see our software will convert this Microsoft Office file or PDF into a PDF and then rasterize it. So again, we're taking the customer's file, we're checking the page count, we're checking that it's got the right page size, we're converting it to a PDF to make it easy for you. And then I'm gonna name this my lease agreement, and I'm gonna indicate as a customer, I need this by the 27th of this month. We're gonna go ahead and continue with this order, accepting the proof, and we're gonna get into Hold for Quote. Now notice some of the items in my basket, like the business card and the large format, are quoted, but this item indicates that a quote is still needed. That's because you, as the print estimator or print team, still have work to do. So we're going to go ahead and submit this order as a customer. And what happens now is you, in the print shop, receive an order, a request for a quote. Now, what we've done this month in PageDNA, July 2022, is we've extended the Hold for Quote technology and made a number of bug fixes to make this software even easier to use. And so I'm now going to switch gears from your customer to being you in the print shop. And we're in the PageDNA Order Manager, and I'm asking PageDNA to show me any jobs that are waiting for a quote. I'm going to click search, and sure enough, you're going to see it's going to find the order I just placed a moment ago. I can expand and see what was in here, but we're going to go ahead and provide a quote. So I'm going to choose the item that I want to quote. PageDNA is going to show me all the specifications you saw me put in earlier, and I have the choice here now to decide what I want to charge for this job. We're going to charge $1,250.34. By typing this price in and submitting the order and clicking Perform Order, PageDNA has now emailed your customer a link that they can use to continue ordering this product. So sometimes we meet printers who say, look, you can't handle everything, so we're just not going to do anything at all. You are really causing a lot of needless frustration. You can have an online ordering process that has a short little off-ramp to allow you to provide a quote, but still allows the customers the benefits of online ordering. So they can come back in and actually pick up from where they left off and complete that order. So I would have actually just received an email as a customer, and I can click and go back in and finish my order online. So I wanted to make sure that you consider not only standard items that are common for web to print, like business cards, direct mail, inventory controlled items, but also critically include your custom jobs, your ad hoc jobs, when you're considering automating your customers' workflow and yours. Because again, customers have a choice of where to take their business, and they're generally gravitating toward print shops and organizations that remove pain for them, that make it easier for them. So whether you have simple needs for things like copies, or you want to get involved in looking at things like booklets and wide format, I want to make sure you know that PageDNA has the capability to handle your needs today, but also to prevent you from being painted in a corner should your needs expand. So please, we ask you to consider your customers and to take these common myths and fears and Don't worry about them because we have technology that has the best of both worlds, both automated quoting as well as the ability for you to get in there and sharpen a pencil when needed, so to speak. So again, this has been Steve Enstad, CEO of PageDNA. If you want to know more about our company, please jump into our website, and there's a request more information link up at the top right-hand corner in yellow. Also, make sure to see our features and benefits, and make sure to go to capterra.com and check out our reviews to see how we stack up against our competitors. We are very honored to be entering our 25th year of operation this year, and to have so many raving fans of PageDNA. It's not an accident. It's a result of deliberate work and continuous improvement over 25 years, solving problems that you likely have today. So if you're one of the many production print organizations that hasn't yet found a home for your system, or if you're a current customer, please reach out to us and we will help you get help with PageDNA's quotes and hold for quote technology. It's been Steve Enstad signing out for now, but talk to you soon. Thanks for your time and attention.